Steve.
Hello, Rich. It's just us two again.
I know. I think he's worn out from the wits.
Probably is, yes. Less said about that, the better.
Less said about that, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, like I said, we've done the Whit Fridays, and it was a great event. Absolutely shattered. So we've got some stuff we're going to put together for that, but we're going to keep you waiting for that one. And if we're lucky, he might be back by then, mightn't he?
Hopefully we'll have the three amigos back together, yes.
The three amigos back together. So without further ado...
Yeah, we're going into part 2 of the John Powell story.
Yep, and here it is.
So I suppose what was next, really, after that wonderful sort of time in college and things, is I suppose it was Jubilate next, was it?
Jubilate, yeah. Four of us wanted to create an ensemble, and we thought of maybe having a brass band quartet, which I really like. You know, that repertoire is fantastic. John Golland and Horowitz, Mr. Horowitz, they created some great repertoire pieces and really liked them. Loved playing them. Fantastic. It's a fantastic setup. You know, 2 cornets, tenor horn, and euphonium. And there's a group, isn't there? A4 brass, is it?
Yes.
They've got that instrument or similar instrumentation. And it was a good medium, but we thought we might get more recognition if we played tubas and had a tuba quartet.
Yeah.
So two euphoniums, 2 E-flat basses. So Paul Walton and 2 other members and myself, we sat in the library at the Royal Northern, and he actually, I always said it was me, but he came up with the name Jubilate. Yeah. And then people always joked about it being tubas with milk, of course.
Yeah, of course.
We had that for 30 years.
Yeah.
And so we built a repertoire from 2 or 3 little gimmicky pieces from America. And Gunter Schuller wrote a piece as well. But we built up a repertoire of 500 pieces, including some solo repertoire and duets over the next 29 years. And then we toured the world. We did everything on it. Basically, we created shows, 2 45-minute sets that we presented to music clubs, festivals, music societies, and we toured with that, and then created a really good program of varied music, and we tried to get as many sounds and musical experiences out of each piece. So we worked with composers, including some very famous ones. Michael Finnessy wrote us a piece. A brilliant piece, actually. He's one of the major British composers, as well as others. Howard Skempton wrote us things. Lucy Pankhurst, brilliant composer, wrote us a number of works. So we commissioned lots of arrangements, of course, which are enjoyable to people, and mixed them in with new music and also contemporary music. We explored a real rich tapestry, and then we sort of tried to make it commercial. So that we could, make some money
out of it,
and do it professionally, which we did for 29 years. We toured everywhere. We toured America 3 times. We toured Russia twice, Latvia twice, I think. I always say twice. It could have been more. Had a great time, but also, really enjoyed it. At a high level, British Council took us out there, which was great. So other great experiences, and of course we meet the best players out there. The audiences were fantastic, and we did one concert in the Wagner Hall in St. Petersburg, and there was a guy, he was an agent. He was in the first half, and the concert did go really well. It was in a beautiful hall in St. Petersburg, in Russia, and. He came up and said, "Wow, that was great," and it was particularly a good gig, and big crowded audience, and then the audience had never heard anything like it before. So, and then we presented everything in a really nice way as well, which I think people liked, and we all kind of had different roles to play within the group, and he came up afterwards, said that was great. I must admit I was going to listen for just 2 or 3 minutes and go, because I didn't like the idea of a tuba quartet. He said he listened to it all. He said, I'm going to stay to the second half. And then at the end of the second half, he said, that was just great. Do you want to come and play in America? I'm an agent in America. So we went and played in the Rockefeller Institute in the States. Probably the biggest gig in New York for us. And we had a good audience there. but I tied it up, and we had a 3-week tour to America for our first. No, I'm bragging there. 2 weeks. We had 2 full weeks going interstate, flying in between, meeting some great people. So it's just interesting, isn't it? How you get one lead in Russia, and then and you have a great time, States, and you get to the States, and then we went on 2 further tours to the States. Not quite as big as the Beatles, but in the end, within our own little world.
Tours is good. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were great trips and playing great repertoire. And we wanted to promote these great mainly British composers, of which the brass band movement has some great composers. And also, we wanted to commission composers from outside of that. So Tubalati was great. 29 years. I don't think many groups have stuck together that long.
No, that long.
And that was my main life. And you mentioned earlier, we met in Legoland.
Yes, we did,
And probably talked about bands.
Yeah,
and,
we did, yeah.
Well, Legoland was... We got about 6 years. We did a whole summer season of 7 or 8 weeks, playing 6 sets a day, basically entertaining the crowds, getting dressed up. We had our own wardrobe and makeup department.
As you do, yes.
Yeah. And then we eventually got asked to do the winter season, dressed up as Charles Dickens characters, walking around the park, doing Christmas
really
carols and Christmas items. So that was a great 6 years because we were doing 6 shows a day, 6 days a week, and if it was holiday time, we'd do the Sunday as well.
Right,
we did New Year's Day for triple money, and which was handy. And I actually gave that money to my mum to buy a new double glazing. So, but it was great because we brought in some money, we could pay it, and also we did gigs in London. We did a gig at the British Music Information Centre with Simone Rimbello, actually, who I met a couple of weeks ago. She was doing a masterclass for my children in Denby. Okay. So if you're listening, Simone, it was great to see you. And I did a number of things with her, actually. She's doing great. She's a great example, isn't she, of a great musician who can really talk. We once bumped into each other. We were both doing an interview for a BBC presentation job in Salford at the studios there. And she got the job and I didn't. And that's fine because she's very, very good. She's got a great BBC voice, I think. And so, I think she's a great ambassador for brass bands, and she don't even play a brass band instrument. So the work she does at the Royal Northern, teaching and presenting, is just phenomenal. And it's great, isn't it? We do need more female.
Oh, absolutely,
people out there, because there's some great players, and as well as great playing blokes as well, and they need to be out there doing it, because I think that's a big step forward that's happened more recently, with more women being involved at the highest level and actually being appreciated.
Yes. Good. So I suppose we have missed, because you usually ask a few questions about favourite composers or favourite test pieces, favourite pieces you've played. So I don't know if we can just jump forward again.
I'd like to. Well, I think that's where it all comes from for me. As I get older now, I'm 58. And hopefully I've got still a decent career ahead of me. But I've played in orchestras. I've played all types of contemporary music. I've played soloist with piano and other ensembles. And of course, Tubalati was my biggest thing. Brass bands, I think it's always my love, really, to listen to them. And I'd like to play in one again. Yes. I can't see that happening. No. But I do love sitting on top youth in a band. There's nothing better. But I'm listening more and more, especially through World of Brass, which is amazing, by the way. It's just one of the best things. I'm listening, and then I listen back to some of the old sort of maybe even 30s and 50s recordings of the great brass bands. And so the pieces, it's a bit of a cliche really, but I just love pageantry. It's so beautiful and interesting and quirky, and it sets a tone for the time it was written, and it sets a massive tone for medieval times or whatever, if that is the period, the jousting pageantry, King Henry VIII time, I suppose. It's so colourful and beautifully written. And then, Resurgam is so beautiful and heartrending and gorgeous, but also deep and passionate from the religious aspect. So they're probably my two favourites. I do listen to some of the modern pieces, and I enjoyed them at the Europeans recently. Really liked that piece, I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I know.
but-
I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
fabulous, especially the Flowers performance
Yeah.
was just. I mean, there were some great European bands, but Flowers and Daniel Thomas, oh my
Yeah.
lord, just so fantastic. So keeping that level of euphonium playing
Yes.
up high, and the level of brass banding and the direction of the band.
Yeah.
I think quite soon
Yeah, sure.
there'll be European bands that win,
Yeah,
even more often,
absolutely.
which they do. But
Yeah.
it's nice that an English band
Yeah.
is still maintained, and other bands are maintaining that standard. But I think those are probably,
Yeah.
of course, contest music a little bit later
Yeah.
is fantastic. I love Blitz because of the colour and the vibrancy and the scariness of
Yes.
it. And then, I mean, we had great success with Dances and Arias and with Howard Snell, which was great, and harmony music. So that era, it's what is it, 20, 30 years ago now. And then some modern pieces are great. I think people sometimes say that the test pieces are all the same, and some are very similar. They're kind of samey. But when I hear the top contests with the top pieces, I hear some great quality there, and there are some that I perhaps don't like quite so much, but that's good in itself. In it, if you listen to a piece, it's good to say, oh, well, I like that, I enjoy it.
Yes.
You learn a bit more about it, and then you enjoy it and you get more from
Yes,
it.
a
There's
bit more
depth.
from it. Yeah.
But also, it's quite good to listen to a piece and say, well, I don't like it, and then the question is, why don't you
Why?
like it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's
Yeah.
no point in commenting. So I find that interesting as well. Some test pieces are formulaic, aren't they? And,
Yes,
and that's
absolutely,
fine
yeah.
because,
Yeah.
I mean, you could get a great composer like Mozart, and then another piece you could listen to, great composer, the greatest probably, but you can hear that there's great similarities.
Yes.
So I can accept that, and so the contest pieces, I love it. I love the concept of it,
Yes.
where it's written for a contest and a competition where it acts almost like a sport, but then it becomes a great piece of art in its
Yes.
own right. So the great conductors you were asking about, I just loved watching and listening to Walter Hargreaves. Great, and that's a long time ago, but a great personality on stage. He knew how to get that musical excitement over to the audience and to the players, and so those are. And then of course, I've worked with Roy Newsom a number of times on CD recordings. He produced one of our CDs, and I like to say he had the greatest pair of ears, regarding musically listening out. He knew exactly what he could hear. He could hear everything, and so that was brilliant. People like him, and I think there can't be any band trainer any better than him. And of course, he was also a great primary conductor as well. Played under Major Peter Parks. He was great. Obviously, absolutely one of the greats. Very sophisticated musician. So those are the conductors and the pieces that I really, really like.
All the good
And then, of
ones.
course, we played loads of pieces with
Yes.
Jubilate. But this is geared more towards the brass band movement.
Well,
I love it, really. We all do, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Don't we all
yeah.
love the brass band movement?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I live here in Kimmel Bay,
Yeah.
so you've still got Menai
Menai down the
Menai
road.
Bridge down the road. You got
Yeah.
Norfolk
Yeah,
the other way,
yeah.
playing brilliantly,
Yes.
actually, with some great players.
Yeah.
Aled there on euphonium playing great
Yeah,
every single week.
Aled.
Some great talent,
Yeah.
and his brother, of course, down
Yes.
south, and everywhere actually. So and other bands as well.
Yeah.
Danielin, doing really well. Sound brilliant. I went up there just the other week, and some great players like Aled Williams. Sorry,
Yeah.
Arwell.
Yeah,
Arwell,
yeah.
good
Good
friend
old
of
Arwell,
mine,
yes.
who also plays in my. Arwell plays in my Umpire Stompers band.
He does, yes, indeed.
And he does a great job.
Yes.
He went from cornet to being a professional trumpet player in my band, and he's
Yeah.
doing well and getting other work elsewhere. So some great talent, and I like to see that. When a local-ish player just plays the highest standard
Yes.
for so many decades, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And they get a bit of recognition as well. It's great, isn't it? When other people say, "Yeah, we'll have you. Yeah, can you
Yeah.
come and play with us for whatever?"
And he does,
yeah.
and he's played
Yes.
well. Arwell in particular,
Yes, yeah.
he's gone and played principal cornet in the recent Grand Shield or whatever it
Ah,
was.
he did in North.
I'd love to hear how I'm sure he played well,
Yeah.
because of course he's a really great SOP player.
Yes.
But I heard he did a nice lyrical performance, and he's got some great talent there. So that's a bit of a plug for you, Arwell. Hope you appreciate it.
Yeah, good old Owl. Yes. Good one. So, you said about your umpire stompers. Now it's not. It's almost your alter ego, isn't it?
It is my alter ego.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me saying it like that.
No, that is what I really feel, you know, because I hope you don't mind me butting in, John Sefton Powell, because I was waiting here listening to all this rubbish you're talking about brass bands. John Sefton Powell, you know nothing. Helmut is the experienced person here who knows all about playing, and of course he runs the band Umpire Stompers. It's a Bavarian party band. He has a great time teaching everybody what to do, swaying from the left to the right, standing up, sitting down. So, would you like to ask me any more questions about the band and Helmut von Munchenhausen?
So, how on earth did you get it going? Where did it come from?
No, this is a very good idea. Now, what I did was I was invited to play in Klangotlen, which isn't easy for the Germans to say, by the another Bavarian party band, and I did this show, and I had to do some sort of show, and they said, you've got to speak with some accent. I said, well, of course I'm German, so I will speak in my own German accent. So I went and did the gig, and it was great fun, and I did okay. They played the piece very fast. I couldn't quite cope with it, but I played and did the show, and I thought, you know, this is a good idea. I'm going to create my own band. I'm German after all, living in Kinmel Bay. I don't know if you know, we live in a small commune together. Arvel and the other Germans, we live together in the commune, and we all play music, and we go and do shows in pubs and bars and things like this. So, but I must go now, and you can ask me some questions. Not me. You can ask John Sefton Powell, Aloysius Powell, some questions.
Thank you.
John, come back.
He's here now. He's back.
Hello.
He's back in the room.
Yeah, Helmut gets in the way. He does go on a little bit, and I don't understand a word he says.
No,
but
yeah,
but he has
a nice
fun.
fella. Yeah, seems to enjoy himself.
Yeah.
When I've seen the videos, he certainly enjoys himself.
He does, and what he tries to do is get everybody in the party mood. So, you know, dancing, swaying, singing along, a bit like a karaoke, really. And I think he gets his experience from, you know, the Royal Northern performing on stage. And I tell you where he gets a lot of it. When he was younger, he played in Live Music Now,
Right on.
which is it's basically taking small groups into the community, doing professional groups. So. You know, he played for Jubilate. I'm getting mixed up here now.
Yeah,
if I could say about me, because it is actually me.
Yes.
So we played in lots of community things like cancer care homes, renal units. Late at night, we got a late night gig there because people were getting their transfusions there. And prisons, we played at Broadmoor Special Security Hospital.
Right.
This is going back a little bit.
Yeah.
Played there twice, got invited back, believe it or not. And we did 2,000 gigs, which again brought in that income that we needed.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes 3 gigs a day. Sometimes we went to Northern Ireland on a number of tours, and we played in all the psychiatric hospitals and hospitals. That was Council for Music in Hospitals, which was brilliant. And once we did 9 gigs in a day, ended up in a renal unit at 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a little story. We were once sitting there doing a concert in an old people's home, and Ryan Breen, the great Ryan Breen, my close friend and colleague, we were sitting outside doing a concert for the old folks, and they were enjoying it. We were having fun, and he said, "Oh, look at we're playing Force of Destiny," and I had a little break, like a 4-bar break, and he said, "I've seen the hedgehogs on the roof, and on the roof of the bungalows there was moss in the shape of hedgehogs." Yes. So we giggled for the rest of Force of Destiny. Anyway, we were doing this concert, and there's an old fellow at the front in the audience saying, "Please, can I leave?" This was during the performance, and then we played a little bit. "Please leave," and then this went on for quite a while, for the whole hour. Yeah. And then he said, "I'll pay. Please let me leave." So, you know, we didn't always hit the spot with our audience, but that experience allowed me, certainly, and the others, to be able to perform on stage. So now what I do really, I do play, and I try and keep my standards up, but I play one of those bendy oval German baritones. But all that experience, hundreds of concerts,
Yes.
allowed me to be natural on stage and do my own thing and bring my character into
Yeah,
it.
sure.
And that's probably, I always thought euphonium and brass bands were the greatest gift, but I think the greatest gift I was given that really isn't anything to do with me is the ability to get up on stage and just do a bit of a show, a bit of an
Yes.
act, a performance, and that was a great gift.
Yeah. Being the showman is a big thing, isn't it, on things like that? Without that,
I've learned how to do it, yeah.
it's flat, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not easy to do. Not many people can do it. And I was a very shy player.
Yeah.
You can ask Ryan about this. Every time before any gig, I was sick. I was nervous.
Yeah.
I could hardly breathe because I was so nervous. But you won't believe it now when I'm on
No.
stage. But I still get a bit nervous. But I just get up there and do it. And to be honest, I switch into this alter ego, Helmut, and then it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I think some people probably see it as arrogant, but in the end, it's what I've got to do.
You've got to do it, haven't you?
And they don't know that
No,
I'm
no.
actually
Yeah.
worried
No.
and shaking with nerves,
Yeah.
but you got to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, the show must go on, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So that's great. Sort of moving forward again is, you were saying about Dan Thomas playing in the Europeans. I noticed he was on an old Imperial as well.
Well, when I saw that, I was
Yeah.
completely delighted because he made it sound fantastic. I mean, he'd make a chair leg sound good. He's that good. Incredible technique. Just the best I've ever heard. I could hear every single note. Mainly it's because of his incredible skill and talent.
Yeah.
He's a great musician as well. And a nice bloke from all accounts. I don't know him personally, but I've talked to him a little bit on Facebook. He totally blew me away. And then when I saw him play an Imperial, the clarity you get, he gets a massive sound on it, like mid-70s Imperial. I think he borrowed it from Charlie Brighton, actually, who's another great name in my field of Imperials and new standards. But totally blew me away playing that, well, because of his playing, but
Yes.
because of the instrument he was playing. And of course, my main thing that I've done in the last few years is I purchase old Imperials and new standard euphoniums and tubas, mainly E-flat basses. And I don't quite renovate them. I do if I have to. I don't renovate them at all. My technician, who's brilliant, he does all the hard work. I just do the cleaning and polishing. But I've started to create a nice little business,
Good.
buying and selling them, and I think they're fantastic instruments.
Yeah.
And people want them. I've got a box there, about to go out to Norway.
Excellent.
And I think some people listened to Daniel play so brilliantly. They recognised he's also playing on a great mouthpiece as well, Doug Elliott, I think, and that's a real step forward. So he really understands his equipment.
Yeah.
And so quite a few people have asked me for them. So yeah, that's my new thing.
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
Well, I've been
sure.
doing it 5-6 years. And
Yeah.
I think I'm getting quite well known. For getting hold of these instruments and getting them
Yeah,
really
sure.
beautiful and clean and
Yeah,
fixing
they-
any problems they've got. So that's a
Yes.
big thing for me, and I'm really enjoying it.
Which is great, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a nice
That's
little
great.
garage there, a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
craft room, and I get in there. I put Wilder brass on,
Yeah, and you're away.
and I sit down, and I can do 6 hours of polishing basically.
No, that's the fumes off the brasso, that is.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is a. I do use brasso occasionally, but I use other things. But yeah, I do like the fumes. Yeah. but that's been really nice. But I've also started to. I created my own brand of euphonium called Sefton, and it's a basic Yamaha copy, you could say, made in China in
Yeah.
a very good little factory. Who I've got a great rapport with.
Yes.
They're brilliant and very professional and know exactly how to make a good quality instrument. And so I've made half a dozen tweaks to it.
Yeah,
I've given
sure,
them a
yeah.
100-point check because I've quality controlled in China for Wessex
Yeah.
twice, and that was a great experience working in the factory and also advising on how to improve a little bit.
Yeah.
Their Dolce euphonium was superb.
Yeah.
I really like it, but I thought I'd make my own with some of the slight alterations that I did,
Yeah.
and then of course I can quality control really well because I've done it.
Yeah,
Since
for others,
19,
yeah.
I started with Sterling.
Wow, that's
in-
going back a bit.
In late 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe early 90s. Maybe 93, maybe 94. Went down with the great Paul Riggett,
Yeah.
who came from the wonderful Boozy and Oaks
Yes, he went
Besson
that way, didn't he?
tradition.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think he's only just recently retired.
Yeah.
And then but sterling are still being made.
Yeah.
That was a great experience to do that, and I didn't want to complain about the instruments, but I knew there were things that could be
Yes.
improved. So that's the thing I've really enjoyed over the decades:
Yeah.
quality controlling
Right,
and
yeah.
advising. I worked for Besson for a while, quality controlling and testing, but also I made a few small alterations as well.
Yeah.
Paul Watt
Tweaks
and I,
to-
we helped design the guard. If you think of the belly guard on the
Yes.
euphonium that
Yeah,
stops
yeah,
the
sure, yeah,
thing
yeah,
singing. One person didn't want, not in our group.
Yeah.
In our group,
Someone else,
they didn't
yeah,
want
yeah.
one of these belly guards put on. So we said, well, you need one. He wasn't really, this person I'm talking about wasn't really
No.
interested in having it, because he didn't need one. So we went to B&Q that night and we bought some perspex. We got a heat gun and
Yeah. Started playing.
and we
yeah,
put these
yeah.
clips on,
Yeah.
and then put the clips on the trigger, which was very
Yeah.
good. And then we put I'm very proud that Paul Walton and I designed that belly guard, which is
First
used
one,
now.
yeah.
So it's only a small thing, but what I find with the actual instrument development is everybody wants something that just improves it a little bit.
Yeah.
And anybody knows that to improve, you go for a lesson and you practice more and you practice the right thing. But when you're going to buy an instrument, you buy the best possible one you can, and then what we did, was we just tweaked some things, and that's what I've done with this Sefton. You just tweak it there, tweak it here, and then you get a thing that's just that bit better.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been interested in for a number of years, and that's what I've done with this Sefton euphonium.
Yeah.
And people have been really interested in it.
And you've got some more coming over, you said.
Yeah, I've ordered a batch just today, in fact.
Yeah.
And then I've had such a good response from a little Facebook sort of advert I put out that I put another order in for another batch, because if you don't mind me saying, the lacquered one is £1,300, which
It's really, really good.
it's
isn't
good
it?
for a good
Yeah,
instrument
yeah.
that's been,
Yeah.
know, I played it to a
Yes.
professional level, doing
Yeah.
solos with it, and it was easy and good. It's well
Yeah.
in tune. The valves are superb, really well made. Just gives everybody, I think, a chance of buying
Yes.
a good euphonium that's been well checked over for 1,300
Yeah.
quid, and so I'm going to book another dozen, I
Yeah.
think, tomorrow. Because I think they're that good, but
Yeah.
I really hate to plug. Well, I do
No,
have to.
no, that
I've
was-
always plugged
yes.
everything I do,
I don't blame you. I would.
blamelessly,
Yes.
and I appreciate you giving me that
Yes.
opportunity. But yeah, it's the thing I'm really interested
Yeah.
in. What I do is I play in my band, Umpire Stompers, and I renovate and clean up Imperials and new standards,
Yes.
and then I've got my
You've
own
also got
Sefton,
your
which I really
Sefton,
enjoy,
yeah.
and I'm dedicated to doing
Yeah.
that, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't you find as you get older, you kind of want to do what you want to do?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, and
And it just makes you happy, doesn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done.
brilliant.
I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been really nice
Yeah.
talking to you today, and it's nice to be sort of appreciated, and for somebody to want to know what
Yes.
you've done, because when you get on doing your job,
Yeah.
if you go on about what you did 30 years ago, people get very tired of
Yes.
it. But it is nice to reminisce and talk about
Absolutely,
those things.
yeah. Yeah.
And you've asked some
Yes.
great questions, which I hope I've
Yeah.
answered quite well.
I mean, it's been really good talking to you. And it's great that you remembered everything because, as I say, when myself and fellow monkeys got together, we couldn't remember anything. So, and I'm only slightly older than you, but
Yeah.
we couldn't remember when we started, who we started with, and what we did and where we went. So it's been really, really nice to speak to you today, and just wanted to say a big thank you for you spending the time with us.
It's brilliant, and I've really enjoyed it, and it's made me
Good.
think about the past and maybe what I can
Yes.
do in future. And thanks for coming. It's nice to be appreciated. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, John, and Helmut, wherever he is.
Goodbye.
Go
Auf
on.
Wiedersehen.
I knew he'd be around the corner.
That was great, Steve. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so did I. It was great to spend the time with John, and glad I did, really. And there is a little aside as well, is not only that he does musical instruments, he's also, hopefully, fingers crossed, he's a supplier who can get us a trigger for Coddy's euphonium.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So in about 6 weeks' time, hopefully, he'll have one in the UK.
Brilliant. I hope you're listening, Wayne.
So I am trying my best.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you're keeping on it, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's good. And it was good that it was over 2 parts. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
It was
broke it up a bit,
yeah.
yeah. And so much covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It was interesting. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And well done, Steve. You're definitely definitely getting your part 2 of your roving reporter roaming badge.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I mean that's it for today, really. Other than I hope you join us in a couple of weeks, couple of weeks' time. I'm losing track of where we are now. When we'll be doing our review on the wits.
Yes, the famous Whit Friday contest. We can have a review of and I was going to say wind up then, a roundup of what happened and the results.
And hopefully Doug will be back with us, so we can grill him on his
trombone playing.
His trombone playing, yeah. Well, again, thank you very much. So it's a bye from me,
and it's a bye from me.